So Jane, it's good to see you.
Good to see you
I'm
too.
Adriana.
Hi, Adriana.
And we'll be spending some time together, about 20 minutes together, just doing intake today.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yep.
So
the other lady, she made me fill out the forms. Where's the forms?
Oh, okay. Well, what we generally do is
Yep.
at the end of our 20 minutes, if you're happy to return, we'll actually do an intake process, like a
Okay.
more formal process, and
Okay.
fill out the forms together.
Right,
Is that
okay.
okay?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I might do though before we begin is explain confidentiality limitations. So you're feeling comfortable about what happens with the talking.
What?
You're shaking your head.
No.
Is that a concern for you?
Well, it is, because every time people say confidentiality, it just makes me laugh.
Okay.
Because everyone always talks behind your back.
All right. Has that been your experience? Has it?
They always do. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, how about I explain how I manage it? And if you've got any questions, you're free to ask me to
Okay.
clarify anything.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I want you to feel safe and okay about your privacy.
Okay.
All right. So here at the organisation, the way in which we manage confidentiality is that the talking we do here in session stays between us unless we have concerns about you being unsafe or someone else being unsafe.
What do you mean by unsafe?
Well, we look at it in terms of risk of harm. If you share something with me that suggests that you're at really high risk of being hurt,
Okay.
or someone else being hurt, then that would be sort of like a matter of concern. And I'd
So
come
that's your
back.
way out. That's the way you tell people about what I say. You just say that I'm going to hurt someone, and then you can tell people everything that I say.
Oh, that isn't the case. Generally, if you share something with me that we can manage together, we'd manage it together. But I can hear you're really worried that it's almost like I'll be using it as an excuse to kind of go behind your back.
That's what they always do.
Do you mean other counsellors or people in general?
I see it on the TV.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, it sounds like it's really important to you.
It definitely is. Definitely is. I don't want everyone to know. I'm here to talk about really
Your
important things.
Yeah.
And I need to know that I can trust you.
Okay. So, can we do a small activity just to give me a sense of where trust is for you?
Okay.
So let's say we've got a line and we've got trust, no trust at 0, like nada, nothing.
Yeah.
And then at 10, at the opposite end of the scale, you completely feel you can trust me with anything. Whereabouts on that scale are you feeling right now with trust?
Here.
What's here? Like 0 to 10?
Here.
Yeah, so down the lower end of that continuum. Okay. So, Jane, what can I do to make you feel safe about being here and sharing? What can I do?
Well, I want to see all the notes that you take.
Sure.
And I want to make sure that there's that you don't talk to anyone but me about me.
Okay. Well, with the notes, you have the right to see your notes. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but we've got Freedom of Information Act that says in Australia that you have a right as a client to be able to peruse and read any documentation about your life that's recorded. So I can reassure you, you can access case notes with me whenever you want.
How would I do that?
You can just ask me for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tend to keep them, I do sort of soft case notes, which means I put them into my laptop at the end of our session. I'm happy to email them through to you.
How do you keep your laptop safe though? What if someone got into your laptop?
Yeah, it's security coded. So I've got a PIN to be able to access the documents on my laptop. So initially there's the password, and then I create a password protected file for my case notes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that just means nobody can just grab my laptop and open it, at will and look through really important stuff.
Okay. All right. And you always put the lock on, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about if you take notes and you've got a notepad? What about those notes?
Well, whatever I take, you can take with you. And if you don't want me to record certain things, I won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can
that's
kind
good.
of talk through that to
Okay.
make sure you're feeling comfortable about what I write and don't write.
So we're about here now.
Oh, good, good.
Mhm.
That's great feedback. Okay, so it's moved up a little bit.
Yep.
Now, the second sort of requirement you had, I want to speak to that, which was almost like asking me to promise that I would never talk to anyone outside of session about you.
Yeah.
Now, I've got to be really honest, I can't make that promise, but I'd like to explain what that looks like. And let me know what you think.
Okay.
As a counsellor, I'm accountable for my work at all times, because can you imagine, I kind of go into session, close the door, anything could happen with my clients. So one way of being accountable is that I have weekly supervision with the program manager here.
Okay, who's that?
So that's Frank.
Oh, okay. I met Frank in the office, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
When
okay.
you first
With the funny glasses.
Yeah, that's
no,
Frank.
Yeah, okay.
So he kind of manages all of us counsellors, and he touches base with us, not so much about the details of your story, but just to ensure that we're supporting our clients well.
So that he's like your boss, making sure that you do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I was unhappy, I could talk to Frank.
Oh, absolutely. If at any stage you had a grievance, you felt uncomfortable about something, and you felt you couldn't talk to me directly, Frank would be the person you could talk to. My hope would be that we develop, that trust will grow, and that you'll feel comfortable enough to raise your concerns with me.
Okay.
Because I welcome that feedback. We can work
I'm
around
good at
that
feedback.
stuff. Awesome. But if at the end of the day it's a serious complaint, you feel your rights haven't been met, or then Frank would be the person that you would put in a formal complaint to.
Okay.
Yeah. So supervision is, it would be the place where I might discuss you without a lot of details.
Okay, so what kind of details would you include and not include?
Well, generally I don't even mention my clients by name. I'd kind of discuss scenarios and talk. The focus is more about what am I doing to kind of respond and be supportive to the client.
Okay.
And the focus is, am I on track?
Okay.
That's the purpose
so
of
he's
supervision.
like your counsellor, making sure that you're okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's how I'm accountable, and we can make sure that I'm doing the right thing by you.
Okay.
And that I'm working ethically.
Ethically, what does that mean?
It means that, all counsellors have to follow an ethical code to make sure that our practice standards are morally correct and ethically correct.
Who writes them? Who are those
So
people?
different associations.
Okay.
So I belong to one association, PACFA, that manages counsellors, and they give us like a whole handbook on how to behave with our clients and what not to do that would be inappropriate with clients.
Okay. So I could talk to them or Frank.
Absolutely, you could.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So are you feeling a little bit more comfortable now that I've explained
So
those things?
what about you? Like, what could I ask things of you?
In terms of myself as a worker?
Yeah, well, if I'm sharing about me, then
Sure.
what do you share about you?
Well, in terms of, I'm really open about any questions you have around myself as a counsellor and how I work and our work together. In terms of personal questions, I don't think that this is the appropriate space to ask personal questions, because the whole purpose of counselling is to focus on you and to ensure that your needs are met. It's not really about me. Like, if I wanted to talk about my personal life, then that would mean
you'd go to Frank.
Right. Or I'd talk to another counsellor.
I see now.
Yeah. So is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. We're like here now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So there's been some shifts since we started.
Yeah, I can trust people. I'm good at trusting sometimes.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, look, I'm really pleased. Once I've clarified some things, trust seems to grow. So there's opportunity for us to develop some good trust in our relationship.
Okay, limitations. Okay, good.
Awesome.